Heavy rains in the far north region of the country renders dozens or tens of families homeless. In this newscast, we tell you how inhabitants of the town of Marwa are now coping after the situation that unfolded one day ago. Also ahead, circulation in Yala, that is here in the country's economic capital, Douala, the road that is linking the economic capital, Douala, to the nation's capital, Yaoundé, is still paralyzed after the road collapsed yesterday following heavy rains. And a common law lawyer reacts after the mayor of the Boya municipality decided or took upon himself to seal the doors of church or business premises and shops in the southwest regional headquarters of Boya. Barrister Eta Bisong Jr., who is a former bâtonnier in Cameroon, has said that the move by Mayor Ekema Patrick is simply illegal. We shall hear from him in this newscast. Good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you so much for joining us in this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinoxe Television. Let's begin right away with the situation of inhabitants in Marwa, far north region of the country, where several families are now rendered homeless after their houses were inundated. An incident which happened one day ago. Victims are now forced to pass the night in the open air. As a result, what are local authorities doing as far as the situation is concerned? A report from me, Sanda, tells us more in the following report.
Marwa, chief town of the far north region, did not escape the recent flood that hit several localities across Cameroon. The material loss caused inhabitants of this city is enormous. Victims say they could neither help their activity nor save their property from flood. They lost, among other things, millet, onion, and important documents.
Comme l'eau André, on ne pouvait plus faire sur toutes nos affaires. Il y avait le mil dedans, il y avait le télé, il y avait les oignons, tout dans la maison. Il y avait 3 actes de naissance de mes enfants qui ont été emportés de l'eau.
Devastated banana, maize, and millet plantation. Ravished houses is the image left by this disaster in the city of Marwa. The victims are forced to spend the night in open air. Mr. Hamadou Sanda says he lost everything to the flood. His cattle, houses have all been swept away by the run of water.
Je suis devenu comme un fou dans la route, tout est parti. Je suis resté même bredouille. Quoi faire actuellement? Je suis dépassé. Je suis dépassé. La conscience, 7 maisons sont parties. Je ne sais quoi dire actuellement.
Obliged to live in an open air, the victims have only their mats and few pieces of cloth to get going. The senior divisional officer for Diamari, under the instruction of the governor for the Far North region, Mejiawa Bakari, visited the area to extend government's comfort to the affected population.
And the SDO for Diamare has equally pledged to support and resettle those that have so far been affected by floods in Marwa, far north region of Cameroon. Now, calm is gradually returning to Limbe in the southwest region of Cameroon, though search is still underway to retrieve an unknown number of persons who were buried in Tuesday's mudslide in Limbe Free subdivision. Today, the rescue team intensified their efforts after the site was yesterday visited by the governor, Bernardo Kaliabilai. He promised to resettle the affected families and warned them against constructing under the hills. It was a rainy morning in Limbe today, but it lasted for just few hours. Today, the BART road leading to the base in Manowar Bay in Limbe was simply reopened after it was closed as a result of the downpour in the town of Limbe. Davis Maimo tells us more in this report.
It was an all-night job initiated by the Limbe City Council with excavators, caterpillars and trucks and their numbers involved to clean the road following the landslide that blocked the road. The importance of the road as it leads to the headquarters of the Cameroon Elite Force, the B, given the present dispensation that will have prohibited the movement of B personnel with their equipment in case of an issue need to be salvaged, cannot be underestimated. However, yesterday's series of landslides brought down the Director of Civil Protection at the Ministry of Territorial Administration to evaluate, take stock, and to seek lasting solution to the flooding and landslide in Limbe. In a crisis meeting that was accompanied with a visit to some of the disaster's area, the governor of the Southwest region, Bernard Okala-Bilai, called on the local population to obey instructions from the government when carrying out construction of their houses, lambasting that construction of houses on waterways and risk zone is the consequences of people losing their lives.
And the problem of the flood, landslide in Limbe, it is not new. Your electorate, they don't want to be disciplined. They don't want to respect measures taken by the administration. That is the consequences.
The Honorable Member of Parliament, Etombi Gladys Ikome, used the medium pleading for government intervention as she said the council alone cannot shoulder the situation in Limbe.
I think that the councils, the city council, they are not in a position to handle this situation on their own.
The administration in Limbe has been given a task to look for land to resettle the people living on risk zone, as they have been asked to quit the area temporarily until the rains are over.
And forever, inhabitants in Bonaberi of the Douala 4 municipality are equally searching for a boy who went missing. That was yesterday. It should be noted that that part of the Douala 4 subdivision was hit yesterday by floods. It is alleged that the boy was swept away by the water. The inhabitants of Forever in Douala municipality are equally calling on the government to reconstruct drainage system to enable the steady flow of water. The call is coming after they spent the entire day, that of yesterday, the 25th of July 2018, in the water due to the heavy rain that visited the neighborhood. Several of them were visited by the water in their houses, and enormous material damage was recorded. And in the following reactions, we shall be getting the views of some inhabitants of Forever that were speaking to Sumanjikan Gabriel and Robert Mokube.
We have experienced high tides that we have never seen before. And all this blame goes to the construction that was done at the entrance into Pont de Bois. The bridge was constructed at a very low altitude. For the past 12 years that we have been in this quarter, we have not experienced such a situation like this. It is terrible. The government has to do something. Even the gutters are blocked.
This water level has come up, and this is due to the poor constructions of gutters, water channels that we have, and equally the poor town planning that we have. And this thing that is coming now, this water that is coming with so much of debris. There are so many diseases outside now. Who knows what disease people can pick from this nasty situation that we are facing. So we are really calling on our government to look into this issue of town planning, because most at times when these people come, they do jobs, they don't come back for supervision. Maybe they should break the bridge. That is the only solution that we have now.
And Douala is still to recover from the aftermath of the intense rainfall yesterday. The section of National Road number 3, that is in village neighborhood of the Douala 3 subdivision, which split as a result of yesterday's floods, is still undergoing rehabilitation. The engineers have urged the road users to be patient. It should be noted that circulation is still paralyzed, and for people to move or leave Yaoundé to the Douala or to the economic capital Douala, or to leave Nyala to some parts of Douala, they either have to trek or pay more. Let's have the details with Innocent Azé.
Sur la route de Nyala, c'est grave. Camion, bus, petite voiture, moto, piéton, ça ne va pas.
Since Wednesday, that this section of the National Road number 3 in the village neighborhoods in Douala split following prolonged heavy rainfall. Circulation of vehicles and motorbikes has been impossible.
Depuis qu'ils ont coulé la déviation,
a road deviation created cannot solve the problem because it has become muddy.
ceux qui sont, ils portent la boue pour verser dans la boue.
Passengers and city dwellers are compelled to trek to their destinations.
Les piétons même souffrent, pas seulement les gens qui sont dans les véhicules. Je suis tenté de descendre comme ça à pied.
Others are bound to spend double sum for transportation.
Je paye à ça 250 pour Harry. Je ne sais pas combien de taxi doit encore prendre pour que je me retrouve là où je pars là.
Drivers who derive their daily bread by plying on this road fume at the situation.
Il n'y a pas le pouce. Les motos, rien, ils ne peuvent pas passer. Ils ont déjà bloqué là, ça peut nous servir.
But the road engineers beg such persons to be patient.
Si nous restons aujourd'hui à dévier l'eau, à faire le bâtardeau et maintenant à finaliser la chaussée.
According to road construction engineers, the prolonged heavy rainfall increased the volume of runoff water, which eroded the layer supporting the tar, causing the road to split.
Donc la majorité du bloc technique est partie.
Engineers add that they are employing best skills to remedy once and for all the frequent road splits along this Douala-Yaoundé highway, though it requires a long period of time. They have, however, assured city dwellers they are working 24 hours to ensure the road is reconnected as soon as possible.
And between the 29th to the 30th of August 2018, Boya is going to be hosting an all-Anglophone General Conference. Christian Cardinal Tomi, bishops, heads of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, imams, and some civil society actors have decided so. The conveners of the meeting have said that providing solutions to the Anglophone crisis is key issue on the agenda. They called on the two parties involved in confrontations in the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon to put an end to hostilities. It was during a press declaration Wednesday, July the 25th, 2018 at the residence of Christian Cardinal Tomi. Meantime, a common law lawyer in Boyan, former president of the Bar Council in Cameroon, Barrister Etta Bissong Jr., is rather pessimistic that the conference is not going to be able to attain its objectives. Barrister Etta Bissong said that it would yield no fruits as it is not going to be taking place at the national level. Let's hear him in the following excerpt. He was speaking to Equinoxe television.
It's interesting, first of all, that the clergy of the Catholic Church, the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, and the imams of the Northwest and Southwest have come with this proposal. But I must tell you that in my personal opinion, it's a very good proposal, but it's a proposal that will never work. Why would it not work? It will not work because the government would not authorize Anglophones to come together to discuss their problem. That will never happen. No government, this government will not. Secondly, I don't think that the Anglophone problem is a problem that shall be solved by a conference of Anglophones. The Anglophones do not have a problem amongst themselves. It's a problem of governance. That is the problem in Cameroon. And if there has to be a conference, it has to be a national conference where the future of this country is discussed, both by Anglophones and Francophones. I must be honest to you, I don't see it bringing any fruits that would solve the present crisis in this country. The crisis in this country needs a global solution, and that global solution is bringing the Anglophones and the Francophones and those who are on the corridors of power into a dialogue where they can discuss these things frankly, freely, without fear, without favor, without bias, so that together they can listen to one another. Those who want federalism, let them put their points through. Those who are talking about secession, let them put their points through. Those who are against federalism or secession, they put their points through. And together, we can see how we can chart a way forward that will be suitable and impressive for everybody. For now, and all Anglophone, they will come and talk. First of all, who will give them leave to hold that conference? Nobody, not this government. And so you see, it's a good call, but I don't see it bearing any fruits. Honest to goodness, I don't see it bearing any fruits.
And the mayor of the Boya municipality, Mayor Ekema Patrick Esunge, has explained why he decided to seal the doors of some shops in the towns or in the neighborhoods of Clark's Quarters and Great Support. Mayor Ekema Patrick has said that he's going to be extending the move to other parts of the town, like in Mile 16 and Munya, just to name a few, if traders continue to respect the ghost town. Our correspondent in Boya, Derek Jato, caught up with the mayor of Boya and compiled this report.
Since Monday, stores, business centers, offices, banks and companies have remained closed and sealed by the Boya Council. And this is him, Mayor Ekema Patrick Esunge, the mayor of Boya Council, who did it.
I personally did that. I was on ground for 13 hours. We're going to continue. I'll be in Moya, I'll be at Mile 16. Those are parts of the municipality.
And insisted that he acted on the law and also on an agreement that was arrived at in a meeting with economic operators of the city recently, with businesses now grounded. What next?
I insist they must meet up with their fiscal responsibility with the council. Secondly, they must have an undertaking with the council to avert themselves from such occurrences in future.
The affected have not only stayed away from their sealed place of work, but also from any interviews. Today, many say Boya has been fractured from many fronts. Some royal stores of the Bakore land are empty. The custodians have been abducted.
Well, I feel terribly bad for our traditional authorities to have been abducted.
And Mayor Ekema Patrick Esunge says he has been abandoned by his elite in these troubled waters.
I feel terribly bad that all the questions pertaining to the happenings in the municipality and the division are all pointing at me. For the elites, I can't remember the last time I saw an elite here. But if it were to come and crucify Ekema or to come and present surrogates to hold positions in the party, to deceive the head of state that they love him and they love the party, they would have been champions. Unfortunately, all of them are refugees now in Yaoundé and in Douala.
Apart from the economic and chief's abduction that Mayor Ekema Patrick Esunge is battling with, there is also another hot potato on the mayor's table: the CBDM party that elected him into this office.
It is humiliating. I think it's a mark of resignation that Fako division did not sit in a conclave to appeal to the head of state to present his candidature. Who then is going to come down to do campaigns for the head of state?
And that is the picture of the Southwest Regional Capital, Boya, as the Anglophone crisis deepens.
And talking about the closing of some shops in the Boya subdivision by Mayor Ekema Patrick Esunge, a lawyer in Boya has practically kicked against the decision by the mayor to seal the doors of shops, qualifying it as illegal. According to Barrister Eta Bisson Jr., the traders have their right to decide when to open their shops or simply stay at home. The former bâtonnier equally added that the mayor cannot win the case against the people if the matter has to go to court. Let's hear him in the following excerpt. He was speaking to Equinoxe Television.
I must say that I am particularly shocked that in a country which professes to be a state of law, actions like this are taken and nothing is being said about it. When I say nothing is being said, I mean nothing is being said by the state. I must say that as a lawyer, the action which the municipal authorities, the mayor and his courts are taking, the action is completely illegal. It is wrong for anyone to go and shut up another person's business premises for the reasons which they are advancing. You know, these are private businesses, and so they don't have really any fixed rule as to when they should open, when they should close, whether they can decide to open every day of the month or whether they should never be ill. You know, take a businessman who goes out to buy his merchandise to come and sell, and he's a sole proprietor of his business, and he shuts his shop and goes out to buy the merchandise, say in Douala, and on his return he finds that his shop has been closed. That is definitely illegal. I want to say that, you see, this does not, people don't know what the law is. First, it is a criminal act, because that's what in criminal law we call disturbance of quiet enjoyment, and it is a civil wrong in what we call trespass to land. I would like to give an example. You see, a landlord has no right to go and lock up his tenant's premises because the tenant has not paid rents. You follow due process of law. But in the case of Boya, what is happening in Boya now, locking up of people's stores, or sealing as they call it, with pieces of paper hung, pasted on the doors, it's completely illegal. They are trespassing on the property of the people who are in possession of the store. It is not the owner who has a right of action. It is the person who is operating in the business premises. So it is completely illegal. And I should imagine that the mayor should have advisors, and I know that there are councillors there in that council who are legal minds, who should tell the mayor that this type of action is completely illegal and uncalled for. What offense? What is the offense for a businessman not opening his premises? But somewhere along the line, somebody must start an action to stop this type of nonsense. Because it is absolute nonsense. So somebody must stand up someday and fight this type of fight and let the courts declare whether the mayor or whoever can go and shut up a man's business place for reasons which are not in violation of any law.
Barrister Eta Bisong Jr. there speaking to Equinoxe Television. Now, traders in Melong Central Market are protesting against what they have termed exploitation on them from traders. The women are complaining that buyers came with fabricated large buckets to measure produce, which they in turn offer very low prices. They have said that it is making it practically impossible for them to make profit. A reporter for me, Armstrong Sander, has the details in this report.
The women who sell farm produce in the Melong Central Market say they came out today to put an end to what they term exploitation from buyers. To them, traders who buy maize, gari, cassava and other food items in the Melong Central Market offer very low prices for large quantities.
Can buy corn. So when they even broke the pocket, they add them. Say maybe.
A situation which the women in the Melong Central Market find it unbearable, given how much they have to put in to be able to grow, harvest and bring these farm produce to the market.
All the fertilizer are 18,000. They pay motor go farm, they rent farm.
After a long period of frustration, the women today rallied and moved to the president of the Melong Central Market to express their grievances. The president, together with the women and some buyers, agreed on conditions to be respected by all. Henceforth, a 15 liters bucket of gari and maize will cost 5 and 3,000 francs respectively in Melong. The protesting market women, their president, in the presence of some buyers, agreed that nobody should buy or sell any farm produce out of the Melong Central Market as from today.
Traders there in Melong protesting against buyers. They finally came to a compromise that was an incident which occurred yesterday. Wednesday, onto something else. In academic, students in Cameroon are preparing to enroll themselves into colleges, high schools and institutions of higher learning after the release of the results of official examinations organized in 2018 by the GCE board. With regards to the examination organized by the General Certificate of Education Board, success rate witnessed a significant increase compared to that of 2017. Statistics from the Ministry of Secondary Education have indicated that the GCE advanced level recorded 67.5, up from 35.3% in 2017. GC ordinary level scored 50% from 25.29%, and for the advanced level technical we have 22%. For the technical GC we have 28%. And for information modalities, students have been told to go to some respective institutions here in the country's economic capital, Douala. That was the atmosphere at Sejet Bonaberi in the Douala 4 municipality and the Atlanta Bilingual Comprehensive High School. Let us now get the reactions of the coordinator of Sejet Bonaberi and also the principal of Atlanta Bilingual Comprehensive High School that was speaking to Robert Mokube.
And for the statistics, we had O-level 81.48%, that's O-level general, A-level general 91.38%, and the A-level commercial 100%. So in fact, the Spanish students jubilating all over, and there is a lot of ecstasy and euphoria, and all to congratulate all the teachers and the students for this massive performance.
The advanced level general scored 83%. And the ordinary level general scored 90.45%. The advanced level technical scored 76.6%, and ordinary level technical scored 73%. I want to appreciate the work done by my students and the staff as a whole, and to inform the general public that admissions are open every day from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Schools in Bonaberi are already preparing for the next school year. Now, the ICT University, United States of America and Cameroon has graduated 100 students in different departments with information and communication technology skills that will give them the potentials to be sure of being job creators. These graduates from the ICT University have been well nurtured with ICT skills to be successful like their predecessors. Let's have the details in this report.
It was during the 5th commencement ceremony of the Information and Communication Technology ICT University, USA Cameroon, that the well-nurtured 100 students in the departments of ICT, Management and Renewable Energy were crowned graduated. They were empowered with certificates as tools to realize their dream.
I feel really amazing. It feels really good. It's an accomplishment, and for me, this is where life begins. So I just hope it turns out for the better.
I feel very happy and proud to be a graduate in banking and finance, and I'm so happy I won an award for the best person in my field, and I hope for a better future.
To the graduates, studying in the ICT University USA Cameroon is a guarantee for a bright future.
Oh my God, I can say, if not the best, one of the best education one can get here in Cameroon, because it's not only about education, it's about life experience. We have online classes. It means that when you're working, you can also as well be going to school. You have online classes, e-library, so everything is so at the students' disponibility that it's just excellent.
Education ICT is really something I would recommend, because they actually have good lecturers, good teachers, and the standard of teaching is actually quite high, because if you don't read, you don't pass. So yeah, it's a really good institution, and I advise you to send your people, or if you yourself could go there, be there. It will be a good place for you to learn.
ICT University USA Cameroon aims at empowering students with information and communication technology skills for self-employment.
Without the knowledge of ICT, you are an illiterate. At ICT University, our teaching methods are like the latest in the world. Like at our university, you can take classes online and on-site. Our online platform is not like any other online platform. It is unique. You can sit in your house, sit in your office, sit anywhere in the world and take your courses and complete your bachelor's, master's and PhDs.
Some courses offered in ICT University include information and networking, business, renewable energy, and lots more.
If you just visit our site, ictuniversity.org, you will see a lot of courses we do offer. ICT is for everybody. Even when we do teach economics at ICT University, we put that component of ICT in it. So that is the difference between our courses and what we do as compared to all of the other universities.
The graduation at the Yaoundé Congress Hall grouped university dons from Cameroon, Kenya, Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Uganda, to mention but a few. All in a bid to give the ICT University USA Cameroon graduation the grandeur it deserves.
We are very, very proud of all the graduates. They did excellent. They were very, very serious. Their parents gave them a lot of support. And what we are very proud about our graduates is that a lot of them get jobs. And so we are very proud of that, and we look forward to this new group getting not necessarily employed, but creating their own employment. Because we train all our students with knowledge of entrepreneurship. We just want to tell them to keep the faith, trust God, like the speaker said, and keep dreaming big, not small.
Some of the academicians were also awarded medals and certificates.
It means a lot. It's a bolster to me, a mark of recognition to actually find out that my boss recognizes my work, and it gives me more impetus to work and to put all my best to make sure that we have the best students from ICT University. They should put everything in the hands of the Lord, because once they entrust everything in the hands of God, they will never falter, they will succeed.
The ICT University USA Cameroon's 5th commencement ceremony was presided over by Professor Nyongbert Gabsa Wilfred, Secretary General in the Ministry of Higher Education, who represented the Minister of Higher Education. Also present during this ceremony was the Deputy Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Ike Ekweremadu.
Chair, Mr. Pons Nicole Nanga.
And on that note, we come to the end of this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinoxe Television. Viewers, so thank you so much for joining us. Wishing you a blessed stay in the company of our programs. Until we meet again, goodbye. Stay